Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta reacts to Chelsea sacking Thomas Tuchel. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has been asked for his view on Chelsea sacking Thomas Tuchel. Arteta is preparing his side to start their Europa League campaign in Zurich and was asked about his London rival at his pre-match press conference. Chelsea have new owners, but it seems like the same old lack of patience exists behind the scenes in terms of managers. Arteta says that all managers know they are at risk of the sack, especially in the Premier League, but said he feels sad for Tuchel. He was asked if he was surprised by the sacking and said, "I was. It was right before the training session when we got the news. It's always sad for any colleague in this profession to get fired. Unfortunately, we know how this works. I wish him the best of luck. It's not pleasant to hear that news. What it makes me realize is what I always told you, that we have a profession that at some stage this can happen. We have to prevent it, enjoy the journey, and enjoy every day, because you never know when that's coming." Arteta has had some rocky moments at Arsenal, which is his first role as manager after stepping out of Pep Guardiola's shadow at Manchester City. It seems fair to guess that Chelsea's board might have lost patience with him during those times under both the new and old regime. Arteta convinced Fabio Vieira would help Arsenal when he first saw him. Mikel Arteta has claimed that he was convinced immediately that Fabio Vieira would help Arsenal take that next step, as the 22-year-old awaits the chance to make his full debut for the Gunners. In comments reported on the club's official website, Vieira was one player Arsenal fans were incredibly excited about heading into the campaign. After little speculation, the Gunners brought the youngster to the Emirates for £34 million. Unfortunately, an injury in pre-season has delayed Vieira's proper introduction into the side. In fact, he only made his debut for the club at the weekend in their clash with Manchester United. The Europa League may present an ideal stage for Arteta to properly unleash Vieira this week. Certainly, the Arsenal boss believes that the starlet is getting closer to really forcing his way into the fold. "We were looking for very specific qualities in the market, and when I saw him, I really liked what I saw straight away. I was convinced that he was a player who can help us go to the next level, and that he had the right personality and character to play for our club," Arteta said, as reported by the club's official website. "It's a shame that we detected an injury when we were doing the medical. He had no preseason and everything has been delayed. But hopefully, you are going to see a lot more of him in the next few weeks, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it." The depth Arsenal now have is seriously exciting. They have so much quality across the pitch, and that has helped the club set to early pace in the Premier League. What will worry the Gunners' rivals is that there is a lot more to come from Arteta's men. The likes of Kieran Tierney, Emile, Smith Rowe and Vieira have made 2 league starts between them so far. There are still areas where Arsenal could be stronger, but they are still building, and they are most definitely moving in the right direction. It will be brilliant to see what Vieira can indeed do when the time comes to really give him his chance. Judging by Arteta's comments, that time is edging ever closer. Arteta wowed by Arsenal ace Granit Chaka. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has once again loaded Granit Chaka in conversation with the Gunners media team. The Arsenal midfielder is thriving in the more advanced role that Arteta is using him in. Indeed, Chaka has been one of the main reasons why the Gunners have been so impressive going forward. The £30 million man's link up with Alexander Zinchenko on the left side has been superb so far. It's all the more remarkable considering that 3 years ago it looked as though Chaka was on his way out of the Emirates. Arteta ultimately convinced the Switzerland international to stay put. It proved a great decision for all parties. The Arsenal boss, speaking ahead of the Europa League meeting with Zurich, had some very kind words to say about Chaka. "He has a different role this year. He is in more advanced areas, and I think he's playing really well," said Arteta. "He's been really consistent this season and is a really important player for us." The Arsenal media team also asked Arteta how he convinced Chaka to stay at the club. "I gave him my opinion about the situation, and I tried to explain the reasoning around why I thought leaving in that moment wasn't the best idea," replied the Gunners boss, Knowing his character and how he is, I thought he was going to regret it. After that, day by day, he has earned the respect of everyone at the club, of all our supporters, and he's been playing really well for us. Arsenal boss admits worries over managing Bukayo Saka's minutes. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta admitted that he's keen to manage the playing load of Bukayo Saka, who has racked up a large amount of minutes in recent campaigns. The young winger, who turned 21 this week, is a regular in the England side, as well as representing one of the most important players within our club side. Saka has won the Arsenal Player of the Year award for both of our last 2 seasons, which only moves to highlight just how crucial he is to our side's progress, but there has been a growing concern over whether we will burn him out. With the World Cup coming up mid-season also, those worries will be amplified, and the manager has admitted that while he wants the chance to rest him, the club's results and standing will impact whether he's able to give his young star as much rest as would be recommended. We will try, Arteta told the media in Switzerland, as quoted by Arsenal's official website. If the squad and performances allow us, we'll try our best to manage his load and get him on the field in the best possible condition. After November, we have something that we have never experienced before. Described as a special player, Saka should be a mainstay for Arsenal and England for a long time to come. His partnership with the new signing Gabriel Jesus, Martin Odegaard and Martinelli has been brilliant to watch this season. All 4 players have started every league game under Arteta this season. Saka's form has been getting better and better this season, and despite Arsenal's defeat at Old Trafford, he had a great game. However, the concerns at Arsenal over Saka's game time mean he may be due a rest soon. He's unlikely to get many games off during the season's compact fixture list and will be in Qatar with England in November. Saka may have to wait until next summer to get the extended rest Arsenal want for him. The 21-year-old has never had a serious injury, but his constant involvement in the team will have an effect in the long run. Arteta confirms Emile Smith Rowe is staying at home after struggling for a few weeks. Mikel Arteta has spoken to the press ahead of our trip to Switzerland to take on FC Zurich and admitted that Emile Smith Rowe will be left behind. The midfielder is yet to start a match since the new season began, but he has come off the bench on 4 occasions, with both Gabriel Martinelli and Martin Odegaard having been thoroughly impressive in 2022. It's no surprise that the Englishman has been forced to occupy the bench, but the boss now seems to claim that he has been struggling with his fitness. Emile Smith Rowe would likely have been expected to be amongst those to come into the team sheet had he been fit today, however, but Arteta insists that he has left him behind as he has been struggling for a few weeks now. He felt discomfort in an area that he's been dealing with now for a few weeks, Mikel told Arsenal media yesterday. He wasn't comfortable after the game and he hasn't trained in the last few days, so he is out of the squad. Former Arsenal star Bernd Leno aims dig at Gunners after leaving this summer. Former Arsenal goalkeeper Bernd Leno has hit out at his former club as he felt it was only because of politics that he lost his place and had to leave. The German shot-stopper initially looked a strong number 1 for the Gunners but ended up losing his place last season when Mikel Arteta brought in Aaron Ramsdale instead. Ramsdale is now the clear first choice and has performed well for Arsenal, but Leno clearly feels this decision was not justified. The 30-year-old left Arsenal for Fulham this summer, but it seems he isn't entirely happy about how things ended for him at the Emirates Stadium. Speaking to German newspaper Sport Bild, as quoted and translated by the Metro, Leno said, "When I realized that it wasn't about performance or quality, I knew that I had to go. In preparation, I saw that it's not about performance, but only about politics. It was clear to me I had to get out of here." Arsenal fans may regret that this perfectly decent player doesn't feel he was treated too well by their club, but as ever there are always 2 sides to every story. Many Gunners will also surely be pleased enough with Ramsdale overtaking Leno as Arteta's first choice anyway. Ian Wright makes it clear he'd love Iwobi to come back to Arsenal. Arsenal legend Ian Wright has made it clear he remains a big fan of Alex Iwobi following his recent improvement in form with Everton. The Nigeria international has performed well in a slightly new role under Frank Lampard, and it seems like he's finally living up to the immense potential he showed in his early days at Arsenal. Iwobi slightly lost his way a bit towards the end of his time with the Gunners and made the move to Everton in the summer of 2019, where he also took time to get going. Former Arsenal striker Wright admits he's now delighted to see how much Iwobi has improved, and even suggested he looks like precisely the kind of player Mikel Arteta could do with having right now. "I'm so pleased with the way it's going for him," Wright said on his Wright is House podcast. "I remember Arsenal fans, it's the same thing they did with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, they ridiculed him. I remember watching him play in midfield early days for Arsenal at West Ham, and you are seeing something special. His ball progression and work rate, what Frank has now recognized him and put him there. Listen to the Everton fans when he's doing his work. They are adoring him now. I'm loving the way it's working out for Iwobi. I'm just talking about somebody who's making a massive difference to what Everton need, the work rate, his ball progression, his passing, everything. He is the pass before the assist. People don't realize it. Everton fans are now starting to realize that if they get the right players in and around him, he's going to be a force for them. You look at his work rate, it's unbelievable. It's the kind of intensity that Mikel Arteta wants now and needs now. We need that. We need somebody who can press like that." It remains to be seen if Iwobi could end up having a second spell at Arsenal one day, but for now, the 26-year-old is certainly doing everything right as he bids to revive his career in the Premier League. Arsenal tried hard to sign Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz. Arsenal did all they could on a transfer deadline day to try and sign Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz, according to Dean Jones. On the final day of the window, the Gunners tried to strike a deal for the Brazil international. As per Sky Sports, Luiz was the subject of 3 bids from Arsenal on deadline day, with the last one being worth £25 million. However, Villa rejected all offers from the Gunners and were adamant the 25-year-old was not for sale. Steven Gerrard subsequently spoke about how he was certain that Luiz would understand the stance the club held. I've got confidence that he will understand the situation and the club's decision," Gerrard said via Football London. "We didn't want to lose a very important player and a top player so late in the window. From a personal point of view, I very much back the club's stance on that. I spoke to him face to face and he understood where we were at and the position the club was in. He very much respected the decision." Jones, writing on Give Me Sport, has now given an insight into just how hard Arsenal tried to get a deal over the line. With Douglas Luiz, they couldn't have really done much more. He said they were in touch with Villa all day on deadline day, and they just couldn't convince them to sell. Luiz, who has been compared to Alex Song, Fernandinho and Jorginho Wijnaldum, has less than 12 months remaining on his contract. Therefore, Arsenal may have the chance to pick the unbelievable midfielder up for a low fee in January or for nothing next summer. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.